like you're dealing with quite a lot. The quagmires, the quandaries of life. There aren't any quick fixes, right? Wrong. That's what other therapists want you to believe to get you hooked and coming back for more, week after week, year after year. And before you know it, you've devoted decades of your life to therapy and half of your earnings, and yet things are pretty much the same as that first day when the therapist did your intake. Except now your therapist has that mountain retreat in the Poconos she always dreamed of, and a kid enrolled at Boston University and in-ground swimming pool. All thanks to you. All thanks to you. I'm not going to let you fall into that trap. There are quick fixes. Convenience store owners know that. Right? For example, winning the lottery. Winning the lottery, that is the ultimate quick fix. 9 out of 10 people agree that there isn't a problem in their lives that money couldn't solve. That 1% out of 10, they are what we in the psychotherapeutic community label imagination deficient. And you don't want to be that. You don't want to be that. As Ayn Rand said, or maybe it was Anna Freud. No, it was the Dalai Lama. Yeah, it was the Dalai Lama. If you are rich and unhappy, you are simply just imagination impoverished. There are quick fixes. Winning the lottery, instant fame or success, comprehensive plastic surgery, meeting the person of your dreams, and of course, joining a cult. I use that term affectionately, by the way. It's a word that has tragically been stigmatized and corrupted from its original Latin meaning. The word cult comes from the Latin cultus, for worship, adoration, cultivation, and it simply describes the very effective psychological defense mechanism of sublimation that involves being devoted to a person, a vision, an ideal. And what's wrong with devotion? What's wrong with devotion? Nothing is wrong with devotion. Just doing some quick notes. Nothing is wrong with devotion. Yes. In my analysis of your current situation, joining a cult might very well solve every single one of your current problems that we've been discussing through your session. Let's see. At some point you shared your concerns about your short attention span, your ADHD, and you talked about how being unable to focus on any one thing for more than a minute or two is having adverse effects on your career, your relationships, your self-esteem. Are you still with me? Good, good. Aha, yes. You said, and I quote, "I don't know who I am anymore. I'm so confused." Right. You said you're confused. Right. You talked about being part of an anti-capitalist movement, and then the next minute shopping online at Amazon. Yeah. Enjoying Bob Ross and Joe Rogan and feeling conflicted about that. Right. You said, and I quote, "Who am I?" Well, by joining a cult, all these questions that you have about yourself, especially about your identity, will be answered for you. You won't need to waste any more time feeling confused or conflicted, because your attention will instantly be focused on the very important work of the cult, and the cult leader will show you exactly what you need to think and how to feel. And since your phone will be confiscated upon arrival at the cult compound, your struggles with, screen addiction and social media addiction, those will forever be behind you. With no access to the outside world, let alone the World Wide Web, you'll experience a kind of clarity you've never felt before. It sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Well, there are quick fixes. There are quick fixes. Let's see, you talked about feeling a little isolated, a little lonely, especially after being in lockdown for so long. Okay, well, joining a cult could satisfy your need for belonging and alleviate your loneliness pretty much instantly, you know. In the cult compound, you'll be sharing a dorm room with anywhere from 4 to 1,000 other people, so you won't have any opportunities or time to feel alone. So that's definitely a perk of joining a cult. You mentioned something about a lot of tension and fighting within your family. I remember you talking about not feeling understood by them. Let me find that part. Right, you said you've been torn up about the divisiveness in your family due to very divergent political views within your family. You said family functions aren't fun anymore. There's too much fighting, too much feuding. I feel like I'm walking on landmines. Look further down. Even talking about the weather is perilous. That's what you said. And based on my assessment, this is just another reason you should seriously consider joining a cult. For one, Any strained or irreparably broken relationships with family members could easily be resolved by linking up with a new surrogate family who would welcome you with open arms. Unlike the so-called family you won in the very flawed genetic lottery, this family would take a very deep interest in your personal psychology. You know, what makes you tick, your fears, your vulnerabilities, your insecurities, and pay a lot of attention to meeting any unmet needs that you have. A lot more attention, actually, than I, as your therapist, could pay to you. So consider that. There are so many other perks of joining a cult. You seem to worry a lot about money. Well, you'd no longer need to worry about money management. You'd have someone handling all of your money for you within the cult. You'd never have to think about money or even see it or touch it ever again once you entrust it to the cult community. They say there aren't any quick fixes. There truly are. You complained a lot about information overload, about being swarmed by so many different ideas and so many topics that pique your interest and your curiosity, and you talked about feeling overwhelmed and a little bummed that life is too short to explore and learn about all the things that interest you. I remember you bemoaning choice fatigue and the paralysis of having so many options, right? The paralysis that's caused by that. Well, with a guru leading you, you won't ever have to Google or independently research anything ever again. If a question or query pops into your head, you'll simply consult your cult leader and poof, instant answers to your questions. Reference my notes. Oh, right. You said something about worrying a lot about what you wear, right? Well, by joining a cult, you'll never have to think about what you wear ever again. You certainly won't have to worry about it. Once you don the uniform of the Children of God, Unical, the Unarians, the Ray Aliens, whichever cult you go with, once you don that uniform, that's it. You'll never have to think about clothes ever again. It'd be easier if I just show you. I think I have a few uniforms here. Yeah, I actually have this one. It's about as practical and functional as you could ever ask for. I mean, who wouldn't feel comfy cozy with themselves and the world in this baggy scrub style uniform? Who doesn't appreciate such a low maintenance, fade resistant fabric in drab colors like these that require zero attention? And the durability of these military great dads. You may even choose your cult based on the congruence between the group's aesthetic and your own fashion sense. It's pretty much everything you could ever ask for in attire, right? Durability, fade resistant, you've got these utilitarian pockets. Very functional. Okay, I'm going to give you this one to try on and wear around. And I'll give you another as well, and you can compare and see which brings out the best in you. Okay, I'll give you that one. Now, then I have another. This is just a very simple, straightforward, no frills cult robe made from satin. Again, brown, very drab. So you can blend in, feel very, feel that sense of conformity and that loss of individuality. Okay? So I'm just going to give you this one too. And you can compare. Alright, instant family, perpetual social events, a personal planner, a money manager, external discipline to help you manage your ADHD, a guide to show you the truth and answer all of life's biggest questions. I think, I'll double check, but I think that's all the boxes for you. Honestly, I think you'd be a bit foolish not to find a cult to link up with. I mean, if you prefer the alternative of the hard slog of trudging through all of these issues yourself and working on yourself and personal change by yourself, which can be very lonely and exhausting if you follow the standard conventional model of working with a therapist, sitting alone, reading self-help books, and watching inspirational and motivational videos and speeches. You could choose that route. Sadly, you could do all of that, and the change within you may never happen. And the truth is, most of us need a little push or two from the outside to overcome couch lock and psychological inertia. Cult definitely provides that external push. So unless you want to embark on this Oregon Trail style trek that we call therapy, with no guarantee that you'll ever reach your destination, after you've sold off everything to finance your own treatment, or unless you want to enlist in the military, then I strongly advise you to find a cult that really jives with you, and hitch yourself to that wagon pronto. Of course. It is your decision to make. It is your decision. So what are you thinking? Excellent choice. It's really the only option. So let's get the ball rolling, okay? Get the ball rolling. I'm going to refer you to a psychic surgeon / cult consultant she's very reputable and well regarded, and especially well connected in the field. Okay? You just give her office a call and set up an appointment. Just make sure this is her current info. Set up an appointment with her and you'll be on your way. Okay? Alright, there you go. I don't want to sway you one way or another, but I highly recommend, based on everything I've learned about you from our sessions, what I surmise would be a good fit for you. I would just suggest that you ask her specifically about the Unarians, the Church of the Subgenius, or the Unical Cult. Those might be good fits for you. But the psychic surgeon whose number is on that card, she'll know a lot more than I do about the ins and outs of each of these very progressive organizations and how to match you with the right one for you, right? Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah. I wish you all the best in finding your saving principle, your quick fix, in that place, in that community where you feel extra special as the burdens and stresses, trying to resolve the dirty, messy issues of your own personal existential crises are lifted from you. Just completely lifted from you. Alright, good night and good luck.